Senior day and everything, there's lots of like emotions, and for the three of us especially, it was kind of, took us a minute to get settled down after like the introductions with our parents and seeing the baby pictures and stuff up on the big screen. I don't know what that was about, but and so yeah, it did take a minute. And OU, to their credit, had really good pressure, and they were pressuring us on the wings and on reversals, and so we kind of got a little bit disjointed at times, like you said, but we talked about that at halftime. Roos definitely made that a point, and we kind of collected ourselves and did much better in the second half.
And then especially the start of the second half, that nice 10-0 run to get the second half rolling. Does that kind of let you guys relax and finish it off?
Yeah, absolutely. We always try to come out both at the beginning of the game and that first four, and then the first four of the second half, and really make a statement, because that can really, at that point, the game can go either way. That's a huge like moment of momentum, and we always want to, if possible, take as much of the momentum our way as possible, because that kind of, like you said, alleviates some of the pressure and the stress, and then shots fall easier. You're not quite as tight. You can just play loosely and play well.
You're going to have to talk with your mother about that?
What's that?
You got to talk with your mother
I
about that?
absolutely am going to have some choice words with her.
First of all, I just want to thank the seniors and their family. They made commitments here 5 years ago, and the time has flown by, but they have done a lot and then some. They have overachieved, they've played hard, they've been loyal to this program, they have matured, and they've grown into young women, and I'm really proud of each and every one of them. And it's fitting today that we go out with we're able to earn a victory today on senior day, and also it gave us an undefeated record at home, 13-0 overall, including non-conference, 9-0 in the MAC season. But today is about the seniors, and I was really happy with their contributions today. We had Alexis Rogers with double digits, Jill Stein with double digits, Jillian with 12, so 12, 11, and 11 respectively. We had a lot of balance scoring, two others with 9 apiece, and they all contributed at both ends of the floor. But overall, you know, every coach wants to be playing their best in March. I thought Ohio had played extremely hard in the first half. Their defensive pressure gave us fits. We had trouble literally reversing the ball, and I was very frustrated at halftime. We tried to make some changes, and I thought our kids executed well out of halftime, executed out of timeouts especially well, but Ohio's defensive pressure gave us all sorts of fits, and we'll need to continue to improve on just catching the ball in scoring areas, and that's something I was disappointed with. But again, that's credit to OU. OU's going to be a team to be reckoned with in the next few years, and even as soon as next year. They're extremely talented, extremely well coached. But bottom line, today is about the seniors, and we will have all the emphasis to be put on them and their contributions to the program over the years. And they made a commitment to us, and I think Bowling Green State University has reciprocated with that commitment to them, and everything that they've earned. I'm really proud of them.
Can you talk a little bit from a coach's perspective when you see a senior day? I mean, you know the seniors are going to be dealing with some unusual and extra emotions. I mean, does a coach have to deal with that too?
Yeah, over my experience throughout my years, probably the earliest I've ever had to deal with a senior having tears on senior day was in the middle of a week in January, where I used to work, when senior day wasn't happening to March. So it affects them all at different times is my point. I think it has affected all of them at different times as well. Throughout the week, I got a handful of text messages from one senior in particular last night, where it hit her pretty hard last night, the day before. Other two were, one was hit hard earlier in the week, one was hit hard yesterday morning. You never want to think about the finality of something, but with how mature and how smart they are, it's hard not to. But like I said, they've accomplished a lot. They've had 100 wins in their career. They've got a 25-3 record now, an undefeated record home. You know, and can't even say enough about what they've done in the classroom. I mean, you go from a 3.24 GPA with Alexis Rogers, and she's pretty much a full-time kid teaching in the classroom right now, to Jillian Halfill, who's got a 3.87, Jill Stein a 3.97. For them to be able to do both academics and athletics at this level, it's just a testament to what their character is all about and how they were raised by their families.
Will you talk also, is it help a little bit in dealing with senior day, knowing that you guys have so much you have to play for? I mean, you have regular season games, you're playing for the MAC, you have a lot of things still on your table and in front of you. Does that help?
Actually, senior day is hard. It's a lot of emotion. Even though you have additional games, you still have the MAC tournament, you have postseason tournaments, whatever that may be. Senior day hits you. It hits you right in your gut, it hits you in your heart, hits you in your head, and it's a tough combination. And for those three to play so well today, I'm really proud of them.
Will you talk, you mentioned a little bit, coming out offensively in the second half, you had played close through the first half, I mean, 12-point lead, it's comfortable, but it's not, you haven't blown them out by any stretch. Talk about the value of letting people relax with that 10-0 start to get the second half rolling.
Well, if everybody remembers, we were down with 7 minutes to go in Athens. I mean, we had to play extremely well down the stretch. We had to get to the foul line and make foul shots to win that game because Ohio had us beat. And I thought it's a difficult place to play, especially with their band right across from the visitors' bench. Again, I get called everything in the book down there by that group, but it's a fun college environment. And I thought we needed to execute well. We did not execute well enough in the first half. As I said, that was due to Ohio's defensive pressure. Again, I thought we executed better in the second half, and we were getting layups more so in the second half, and then getting some three-point opportunities as well in the second half. But as I said, this is a talented Ohio team, and we need to keep continuing to improve at the offensive end. And I'll take a lot of credit for I did not call a great game today. I felt like I created some of our stagnant offense, but then again, their defensive pressure was that good in the first half.
Well, you talk a little bit about the defense in the first half. Their shooting percentage was down. It was, they struggled a lot offensively in a lot of different ways.
I attribute some of that to our crowd. It was intimidating. I think anytime you play in the Stroh Center, it shakes the opponent for a little bit. But I was fully prepared for Ohio to fire it up from the three-point line, and they did. They averaged 27 attempts per game. They hit 28 today. And trust me, this is a team that makes threes.
Right.
This is a team that beats teams by making threes. So we knew that we had our work cut out for us defending the arc. At times we did, at times we didn't. It's you hope they miss a little bit, but then other times they were taking contested shots. So we needed to box long, as I call it, against some of those long rebounds off some missed threes.
Obviously, you still have bigger goals to come with this season, but holding serve, so to speak, at home, I mean, that's pretty special.
It is. There was just a lot of good things that happened today. Being able to honor the seniors, a crowd close to 2,000 to see them, having each one of them receive an ovation that they deserved, that's important to me. Having their families here as well, that's also important to me and to them. And it's something that when you work so hard, they deserve a little extra attention on senior day, and I think they got that, and I'm really happy that they did.
What about how difficult it is to run the table undefeated at home throughout the entire season? Obviously, I'm guessing that was probably a goal.
The goal, as I always said, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's just to get better with each game and to be playing your best in March. I don't want to put any more pressure on them. I don't want to put any more pressure on us. I want to keep it as simple as possible. Like I've always said, we've got an extremely intelligent team, extremely unselfish team, and some of those attributes showed today.
Looking at the points in the paint, you guys had 32 to their 12. Was that your game plan coming into today, or is that just what they happened to give you?
Well, they do a good job of doubling the post inside, and I think 9 of our first 15 shots, ironically, were at the arc. So we did make it a point of emphasis to have better inside-out action. I don't know if we quite got that, but we worked on that more so in the second half. But we wanted to get the ball inside. I thought our posts were strong inside, and they stepped up today.
How difficult is it to go undefeated at home in this league?
Every game is difficult. I can't say anything else. I mean, it's this time of year. I mean, you look at the men's polls, 5 out of the top 10 lose. Everybody knows now my favorite team is Wichita State, you know, and they are getting national attention with the bullseye on their back. But every game's difficult. We face a different defensive game plan every game, and we've got to be prepared for them. And if we think of it outside of that box, we're doing our team a disservice. We're doing a disservice with our staff if we have that same mentality. But it's a great accomplishment. There's been a lot of teams under Kurt Miller, a lot of teams under Fran Bowl and Jackie Clark that have achieved the same accomplishment of going undefeated at home. And it's nice that this team will be recognized with other previous teams and will be recognized with those other coaches as well that I mentioned.
No sense of it in terms of how long she's going to be out.
Only 12 free throws today, Coach. I know that's a big part of your offense typically.
Killed me. I wanted to get to the line. That was a topic of discussion in halftime as well. We got into the single bonus, I thought, early on, midway through the first half, and we couldn't capitalize on that. And they got to the foul line more than we did, and we just can't let that happen. We need to correct some things. But again, that's a credit to their defensive pressure. I mean, they were able to defend us without fouling, and that's them. We need to improve upon that. But again, we ran into a really strong defensive team that took that away from us.
Final score today, Central beat UT by 3 for being behind pretty big at halftime. 80-77, I think. Surprised by that.
It's March. March is madness. Anything can happen in March.